Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? You found it. You're listening or watching in real time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Real Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inrealtime.com.
If baby could talk, she'd say a lot. You'd know what she's thinking and what makes her happy. But unfortunately, baby can't talk or remind you. You're the one taking her to daycare today, and she won't speak up if you drive straight to work like any other day and never think to look in the backseat. Every year, dozens of kids die from heat stroke in cars. No one is perfect, so set a reminder. And always look before you lock. Where's Baby? Paid for by NHTSA.
From Studio A in Texas, it's hour number 2 of the All Things Automotive Car Talk Show in real time. Just ahead, all about the new Ford Bronco. We talked to the brand manager about the reimagined new darling from Ford. Ram Rebel Diesel is in the new car showroom this hour. We take you for a ride. Later this hour, go inside the mystery garage. And we have our Jeep Trails feature. Plus, the stories making automotive news headlines this week, all just ahead on the July 18th edition of the In Real Time Car Show. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars,
Howdy,
and King
Mom.
Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us, and thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Is Esteban ready?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. He is the Ford Bronco Brand Manager.
Yeehaw.
And his name is Esteban Plaza-Jennings. Esteban, it's good to talk to you, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you guys.
Well, you haven't been busy or nothing, have you?
No, it's been a quiet week.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, as a matter of fact, last week at this time he was clean shaven. He has not had a chance to shave, and so that's what we're seeing today. Well, it's great to talk to you, and I know that you guys have got to be thrilled with all of the talk and all of the absolute, bar none, probably the hottest vehicle in the last decade that has been brought forth by any auto manufacturer, and that would be Ford and the new Bronco. So what do you got to say, man? I mean, I look at all of the talk on media that is all across the United States, and you got to be thrilled.
We're very excited. There's been a tremendous amount of interest on Bronco. We've sold out our first edition for Bronco. We were the #1 trending video on YouTube the night of reveal, #1 trending hashtag on Twitter. So, from a excitement perspective, we're glad we were able to deliver and give customers what they've been asking for so long.
So what is it that, what kind of feedback are you getting? Obviously, I can't even imagine anybody saying anything negative about it. I mean, the retro look is a smash hit. There's no doubt about it. I mean, let's just use Mustang as an example. How dare anybody touch the look of the Mustang forever and ever and ever? I think that the worst thing that ever happened was the Mustang 2. That was a mistake that you guys quickly remedied, and I would imagine that with this retro thing that you guys got going on with the Bronco, it's nothing but kudos to you.
Yeah, we internally kind of debated, right? There's so much heritage behind Bronco. How do you go about bringing back the icon? And as we talked about the vehicle we wanted to bring to market and where the excitement has been in the collector space, I think a lot of that has been around the first generation Bronco. That's been the hottest collector's car in the last couple of years. And so when we were going through how we were going to design the new Bronco, we really spent a lot of time looking at the first generation design and using that as inspiration to bring back this new Bronco. Go ahead.
And with the first gen Bronco, it had a huge motorsports presence. I don't know if you can tell us anything. Is there a motorsports presence planned for the current gen?
Yeah, we've actually we've introduced the Bronco R. We introduced that at SEMA of last year, and that vehicle actually ran in Baja. And so that was trying to pay homage to, Bronco being the first and only four-wheel drive vehicle to win overall the Baja 1000. So you know, that's the way we introduced the world to Bronco, was through motorsport.
Right.
And there were a lot of design hints in that race vehicle that kind of hinted at what we showed off on Monday.
Well, clearly the competition is really stiff. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the Jeep has a long and storied history across the United States and across the globe, for that matter. And it's clear by some of the things that we have seen through the press release and Monday night's debut that you're clearly going right for the jugular when it comes to Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, I think we are paying homage to the original Bronco, right? The really neat part of the story about Bronco is that it was introduced at the same time as Mustang. And they were always supposed to be sort of siblings in the stable, these two horses. Actually, the designer who designed the Mustang emblem also is the same designer who designed the Bronco emblem.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat fact. And so, you know, as we bring the new Bronco back, we're living in that same space. Bronco was always about being the off-road sports car for Ford, and that's how we're trying to position this new Bronco. It's not about, you know, just being a single-purpose rock crawling vehicle. This vehicle, because of our suspension architecture, because of the Haas independent front suspension, we're making a vehicle that can excel both in high-speed terrain and also in the technical stuff as well.
What are the two most exciting things that you got that you actually think the new Bronco brings to the market? And what are the two most exciting things that you have seen that the media has really focused in on?
I think the two things I'm most excited about, first off, is 35-inch tires from the factory.
Yeah.
That is a segment first. And we will have the largest tires in segment. And not only do we offer those tires, but we're going to offer them not just on our high spec hardcore off-road trim, but we're going to offer them on the base series as well.
Okay.
As an option. That is really cool. Yes.
Yeah, you're going to be able to check the box and get 35s with the Sasquatch package.
Sasquatch package. I love that.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
And the
it's
number
got all sorts of good stuff in it. It's got locking front and rear diffs. It's got bead lock ready wheels. It's got those 35s. It's got our automatic advanced 4x4 transfer case. So we're really excited to be able to offer it at all price points.
So what is the biggest buzz with the media besides the tires? Obviously, that's a huge plus.
I think the media is, I mean, there was a lot of speculation about how we were going to bring Bronco back, right? Was it going to be a true hardcore off-road vehicle that is hyper capable? And are you going to be able to take the doors and roof off? And I think just generally, I think the media is very excited that we were able to deliver on that premise of this being a legit 4x4 vehicle.
Oh, I totally agree. And it's not like Ford didn't generate this buzz for a number of years about where Bronco was and where it was going. And not that you were giving everything away about it, but little bits and pieces for almost 3 years now. So you guys really built a good buzz about it. And then the reveal Monday was just awesome. So what kind of production numbers are you looking for on this?
Yeah, we're not ready to discuss production numbers right now, but needless to say, we're excited to build a bunch of Broncos and satisfy customer demand.
How many $100 orders did you get Monday night?
Again, yeah, we're not, unfortunately, ready to disclose our reservation numbers, but
lots of them.
We sold out the first editions very quickly. So
congratulations.
Yeah, where's the Bronco going to be built?
The Bronco will be built in Wayne, Michigan, at Michigan Assembly Plant, alongside the Ford Ranger.
Got you. Because from what I understand, that the underpinnings of the Bronco, many components of it are the Ford Ranger components as well.
Yeah, so it's based on the same chassis, the global midsize truck platform, the T6. But there are a lot of unique components for Bronco, right? We have a completely unique rear suspension. On Bronco, we have a 5-link coilover suspension versus a leaf spring. So, and the front suspension has also been optimized for Bronco and to clear those big tires. So
Well, yeah, and why not use a little bit of parts bin where you've got proven parts coming out of the parts bin so that, your development on the rest of the Bronco can be a little bit more focused.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so what's next? I mean, can we already select colors and options or packages? I know that I heard anyway that immediately once it was debuted, you start taking orders for it, and that your Ford dealer, whoever you ordered it through, would let you know when it was time to be able to drill down into the actual order boxes.
Yep. So right now you can go place a reservation on Ford.com for $100, like you guys mentioned, and get a spot in line. You are selecting the series that you would like, and then whether you want a 2-door or a 4-door.
Configure the door configuration.
You know, one of the things that I think it's important for us to mention is that you debuted 3 vehicles, 2 of which are based on the Ranger platform, while the other one is an actual crossover, and that's called the Bronco Sport. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so I'm just going to disclaimer that I'm not the Bronco Sport Brand Manager.
Okay.
My colleague, Rena Young is that individual, and
All
I'm
right.
sure I'd love to get her on the show as well. But I will do my best to impersonate her.
Okay.
Bronco Sport, yeah, it's a very capable crossover utility, like you guys mentioned. We like to say it is the Bronco of crossovers. So it's targeted at a different customer than Bronco. This customer, they love getting outside, they love enjoying nature, but they're just using the car to get to their end activity, right? So they're hauling their mountain bikes to the trailhead. They're getting to the trailhead to go backpacking or whatever the activity might be that they're participating in.
Well, I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it was a brilliant marketing move that you also offer a Bronco on a little less capable platform and probably more affordable as well. It's really a different vehicle using the Bronco name, but with Bronco Sport attached to it.
Separated from the pure Bronco.
Yeah. And when will that debut?
So that vehicle actually comes first.
Okay.
So those vehicles will be arriving at dealerships at the end of this year.
Okay.
Very nice.
Not that far away.
Yeah, very nice.
Right. You can actually go place an order right now with your dealer.
So can we assume that with the Sasquatch package, he may be making an appearance in the commercials?
You'll have to look really hard to see him, I'm going to have to guess.
And that's why you grew the beard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's
for the part.
Yeah. Well, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. I know that you're a busy guy, especially at this point in the debut of the Ford Bronco, and we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Very much
Let's
so.
stay in touch. And so the actual arrival at the dealership is slated for the spring of 2021, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And so no specific date, just spring of 2021.
Correct.
Everything's fluid in automotive manufacturing.
So to speak. Well, Esteban, thanks again. We appreciate it. You take care of yourself, and congratulations again. Tell everybody at Ford we said hello.
Will do. Thanks very much.
Thank you. So Esteban Plaza-Jennings is his name, and he is the Ford Bronco Brand Manager. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams live on Facebook.com/InWheelTime, on YouTube, and on our website, InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. Quick break now. Then a look into the new Ram Rebel diesel. Back in a flash.
Are you one of those people who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know, I'm thinking what we really need to do is that we need to stop playing PSAs and just take a break and just, really not get involved in any kind of car conversation. Just talk about what these comments that you make or the comments that I make.
No, those probably wouldn't go over well. This is a commercial venture, and we might lose a little bit of. We actually may gain some audience. Like I said, we should always sell a subscription to the commercial part of the show where you can hear
or the outtake version that you can only get on our X-rated platform.
Our conversations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kind of wander off the reservation quite a bit.
Well, this is Houston's most in-depth car show in real time, streaming live online on Facebook, YouTube, and realtime.com. Time now for this hour's car review, and actually it's a truck, the 2020 Ram 1500. Available trim levels out the wazoo. Pick one. You name it, they've got them. We're going to review today the Rebel Crew Cab 4x4 diesel. This is considered a standard pickup truck, or what we refer to as a half-tonner. How many passengers? Mine was capable of carrying 6.
Oh, so you had the front bench
seat in the front.
I love that bench seat. And here's the deal with the bench seat.
It was probably cloth too, right?
No, it was leather.
Okay.
Here's the deal with the bench seat. So it's got the same width of the typical console, and it has kind of a console built into this. Got the cup holders and some other little things that are in there. Well, there you can see it right there. That actually is the standard one that has the console in it. So
Right.
this didn't have the standard console like that one that you see there. But the whole console lifts up and is the back, okay? So if you got any, trinkets inside the little door storage compartment, then they're all going to fall down to the bottom. But it's got little things in there that you can keep them all. It is the coolest thing. And the middle seat got its own seat belt, just like a typical. So you can go on a real date like you used to with Becky and enjoy yourself.
Or more likely, my 06 had that, and we would fold it up whenever we had all the grandkids with us because we needed that extra seat. Otherwise, it was there.
Sure, Mike.
That's what you did. Such a liar. Anyway, exterior features, rugged, blacked out grille and bumpers, and it's really, that's what the Rebel is all about, that rugged look. Contrasting faux front skid plate with tow hooks, vented hood, different, more sinister headlights than the chrome trim levels. I liked about the rugged look. I mean, it looks off-roady. Interior highlights, the 12-inch infotainment screen is what I had. Contrasting colored surfaces, red on black, that was really cool. Rebel monikers throughout the cabin and the seats. It had dual glove boxes, tons of storage, some hidden compartments too, especially under the back seat floor.
Big storage too.
Yeah, exactly. Cargo and trunk room, well, truck bed. Ours had the optional folding tonneau cover on it, along with the movable gate that you could actually extend the bed.
That's cool.
Yeah. It has, of course, all the tie downs, and this one had the Ram boxes on it. 3-liter V6 turbo diesel, turns out 260 horsepower, but more importantly, 480 pound-feet of torque through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating up to 12,750 pounds. You can haul your house back there. Haul rating, 2,300 pounds. 21 city, 29 highway for a combined of 24. I got 23.3 over 250 miles. What I liked about it, that diesel grunt. You got to be careful because you can burn those rear tires.
Yeah, again, it's all about torque.
Yeah, without a load back there. What could use improvement? When the engine is cold, it does have a little turbo lag to it, as I would imagine most diesels usually do when they're cold. That's why you'll go into a truck stop sometimes, and you'll see all the diesels out there, and they're all idling. Don't let them get cold.
No.
And they're not using any fuel. So.
Not at idle.
Yeah. Ride and handling, smooth, baby. What could use improvement? get it with the air suspension. There you go.
That's the way.
That is the key. That air suspension, oh, my God. I can't even tell you how good that thing is. Base price on this, $47,990. Prices tested, $70,880.
And they'll sell all they make.
And they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It is low. Look at the options on this thing.
Well, probably if you want to show people, point it towards the camera, not me.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got every option known to man on there. Base model price on the Ram is $32,145. Base model prices on the Ford F-150, $28,745. Chevy Silverado, $28,300. Toyota Tundra, $33,575. So about $30,000.
One of the neat things about this, though, that Ram offers in the Rebel, which I consider an up-level half-ton truck, is that full bench. Most of the other manufacturers, to get a full flat bench in them, you got to buy the stripper. You got to buy the work model.
Truck.
You're not going to be able to get it in an up-level vehicle.
Nope.
So,
and you're still the nice thing about the seat is that it's not like it used to be. Let me put it that way. Back in the old days, first of all, you didn't have a fold down, what you would call an armrest.
It was one seat back and one seat cushion from side to side.
It was nothing. So, and you get into this vehicle, and it is made. It's got the driver, the passenger, and then it's got the center section. So there's actually 3 separate seats all in one, but you can't tell when you got that center armrest down.
No, huh?
If you want to call it that. It's more of a center console thingy.
Well, but it's the seat back folding down, right?
Right.
Correct. Yeah, the seat
And
back.
it's got a nice. It's vinyl.
And it's flat. You would never know.
Yeah, it's great for writing. If you're writing on something and you need to write down notes or something.
Because it's big enough to hold a full sheet of paper.
Well, and it's flat.
Yes, it is flat. They
thought out.
Very well thought out. It's not the old trucks of yore. That would that would be YOR.
Yeah, I was going to say your.
Yeah.
Y'all.
All right. So I've got to. I was so busy doing that, I had to kind of not be able to do this work over here on the computer.
Because you have all those buttons over there.
Well, I am kind of multitasking, if you will. But now I'm ready, and we don't have to multitask anymore.
You're special.
The In-Wheel Time show continues. We're going to have the car calendar and the race card coming up next.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still hasn't stopped. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
What does it remind you of? What does this remind you of? Huh? It reminds you of nothing.
There's something. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Uh-huh. Let that mind work. Listen to that song. Hey, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Show. Thanks for joining us today. It's time now for our car calendar and the race card. And Conrad always manages to put this together for us.
Yeah, next weekend on July 25th at 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is the Tice Motorsports Twilight Show, and that's at 9606 Kirkton Drive, which is just south of 290 off of Huffmeister. And then also next Saturday at 4 p.m. is the Galveston Cherry Hill Cruise. Boy, that's hard to say all quickly.
Cherry Hill.
And they're going to meet at the Buc-ee's in Katy at 4 p.m.
Park.
Oh, gosh. They're going to meet at the Buc-ee's in Katy at 4 p.m., so get your Buc-ee's fill.
Get your act together and get out to Buc-ee's.
And they're going to roll out at 5 p.m. They're going to stop at the Buc-ee's in Texas City because if you drank the big drink in Katy, you're going to have to get rid of it by the time you get to Texas City.
By the way, speaking
of
Buc-ee's,
Buc-ee's has the best bathrooms you'll ever stop at.
I want you to know,
that's what they say.
You know, several years ago, when Buc-ee's was opening a store every other weekend, we tried very hard to get a hold of Buc-ee, and he nor his marketing person would not talk to us. They are the hardest people to get a hold of.
So if anybody out there knows them, have them contact us at info.
They're down in Angleton,
Yeah, I know. That's where they're based out of.
Yeah, well, and the original store's down there too. Have you ever seen the original store?
Probably. Isn't that the one right off of 288?
Yeah,
on
but
the way to West Columbia.
It's tiny. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just had to.
You're not.
I'm really not.
Also, next Sunday on the 26th is the HPD Twin Peaks meet at the Woodlands, and that's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you want to see some cool cars, go to that. Troy gets a pretty good.
They're high-performance cars,
right?
Mostly
modern high-performance cars, Lamborghinis, Porsches, and stuff. So, also on the 26th is the 8th annual Lone Star Hot Rod and Music Festival at the Showboat Pavilion.
The Showboat.
The Showboat.
Where's the Showboat?
At the pavilion.
Good answer.
And then October 25th, Northside Mustang Club is going to have their open car show at the Conroe Outlets. Racing, there's always the local stuff going on at Houston Raceway Park. That's Friday nights at 6 p.m. Friday night at 6:30 p.m. at Houston Motorsports Park. Indy Cars was yesterday and today, and they're running Iowa. Yeah, they're running
Iowa.
Circle.
Around the pig farms, or
circle track, just a mile and a half oval.
In Iowa. Where in Iowa?
Des Moines. Well, outskirts of Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Mm-hmm. It's not Des Moines.
Yes. My grandmother's was from.
I still got cousins that live there.
In Iowa. It's all farming.
You realize they only give me a certain amount of time to do this, and then they talk.
Hurry up. Almost out of time.
Yeah. Formula One tomorrow is at the Hungaroring, and that's in Hungary. And then on the 2nd of August is going to be Silverstone at the British Grand Prix. Tomorrow is Texas Motor Speedway for NASCAR, and they are going to allow fans in, a limited number of fans. And then on the 23rd is going to be the Kansas Speedway, again with a limited number of fans. Tomorrow, starting today, and tomorrow is the Sebring International Raceway for IMSA. So the Corvettes are going to be going for their 101st victory.
The new C8s?
The C8, yeah, won its 100th victory for Corvette at Daytona 2 weeks ago. So their 100th IMSA victory.
They have on the new C8.
Well, no, of Corvette.
Oh.
The C8 won the 100th, which was the first race the C8 won.
Okay.
It's only the second race they ran because they ran the 24 hours
of
Daytona.
All right.
And then also tomorrow is going to be, again, at Indianapolis with NHRA. So they're doing their
And they've canceled Brainerd, and they canceled Denver this week.
Right. And what a shame that is, because Brainerd's a fun place to go, and Denver's a new challenge every time they show up.
And so they just added another one onto Indianapolis. And everybody says, well, why Indianapolis? Well, first of all, it's an NHRA-owned and operated track. And second of all, almost all the teams are there. I know that John Force Racing, well, I don't know. I haven't looked with my own two eyes. But I understand that his great big facility there is vacant and weeds are growing up in the parking lot.
I wonder what's going on. Nobody's talking.
No, nobody's talking. And it's probably a good thing because it has to do with money, and obviously money is sponsorship. Mm-hmm. And so what's going to happen with the sport? Nobody seems to know.
Hard to say.
Between Force and who's that? Force.
Schumacher?
Schumacher and Connie Coletta. If those three teams pull out of NHRA, they're done.
Well, done is.
And Force pulling out is a problem.
Yeah. It definitely is a problem. I don't think he's going to be pulling out forever, but I think it's going to change his setup, and he may announce his retirement because, he's old. He's older than me.
I resemble that
Is he?
remark. Oh,
yes, he is.
Dang, I didn't think anybody was that old.
John's 74.
All righty, well, that's going to pretty much do it for this portion of the in-wheel time.
Of Mike's time on the show.
And Mike's time on the show. Say
Just
goodbye,
mute.
and we'll take care of him during this.